All right, welcome back to Eric Hunting from Parts Unknown. We'll be doing a review of PvP Let's Get Wild with my co-host, my tag team partner, love of my life, Anissa.
Hello.
It's been a little bit since we went to a wrestling show, so we're sorry for the delay in any kind of footage. It's been a minute and a half.
Your new grandbaby's taking up lots of time.
It's been busy.
Yes.
Been busy. So this is PvP. Let's Get Wild. And
it was.
It lived up to the title on this one. I'll tell you what. We went. They went all out on this one. This was Matthew James' second show as the leader of PvP now. Mm-hmm. So kind of knocked this one right out of the park. Mm-hmm. We had our announcer extraordinaire, Cameron Coe, who's getting himself out there. He's just getting better and better every time, and he's working in other promotions now, and good for him. I'm proud of him.
Young fellow.
Yeah, he's a good kid. Good kid. And we had two refs on the card. We had Ref Tyler, and we had Ref Gina.
Yay!
Also known as Blue Shoes, who was not Blue Shoes tonight. She that's just for a test of strength. But
it was good to see her.
Always good to see Ref Gina. She is a
consummate professional.
There's no other way to put it. She really is. She takes no guff from anybody. She puts everybody in their place. She's
I wouldn't mess with her.
She's 500 pounds of dynamite in a 100-pound bag, and you don't want to mess with Ref Gina. I've seen her get upset. You don't want to see that.
So is Dan the man. Anyway.
So we started off the night with a bang, with a huge bang, and that was a grudge match. This was Hammer Tunis's first match back after his unforeseen injury that he had, and that kind of took him out of contention for the heavyweight title, and he had to drop that, and they lost the tag team titles, and injuries happen, and he fought his way back. He's in some of the best shape that we've seen him in a long time, and he was facing one of the really, really good guys, and that was AJ Cruz. We've seen AJ. We saw him when he made his comeback. We didn't know about his injury because we didn't know who he was, but when he came back, and
we were on board.
Man, this guy is something else. And
his kids were just wee ones.
Yeah, and then not so wee anymore. One's got almost as much facial hair as I do.
But what nice kids.
Yeah, they're good kids. Good kids. So yeah, I mean, Hammer brought it. What you thought Hammer was gonna bring. It wasn't gonna be lock up, hip tosses. This was going to be a fight, and I mean, it was a grudge match. And he's got something to prove, and he started with AJ Cruz, and man, this match just was hard hitting.
He's an angry elf.
It was. I love watching AJ work. I love everything that he does. He can go up to the top rope and fly. He can grapple on the floor, on the mat, and they can bring it out to the outside and get physical and dangerous, and they can fly through the ropes. And Hammer really held his own. Hammer came out with his younger brother, who's been drinking some of Hammer's Kool-Aid.
Boo.
And that's Jason Tunis.
Such a disappointment.
Well,
As I was walking out, I said, "You should be ashamed."
Need to make better life choices.
Yes.
However, Hammer did come away with the win.
Boo.
It was clean-ish.
I mean,
heavy on the ish. It was a clean pin.
It's as clean as you're gonna get when it involves the closers.
Fair, yeah. Any of the closers, because there's a lot of them now.
Yeah.
And
it's
that
like
just
a mold that's just spreading.
And that brings us right into our second match, which was the women's title match.
Yes.
And this was a rematch of the previous champion and the present champion, Big Juicy, our present women's champion.
She
Love
just
Big
gets
Juicy.
better and better.
And Ariel Nix, who is she's a badass. She's one of those that are, she don't take no shit.
Yeah, she walks out with kind of a storm cloud above her head.
Yeah.
She means business.
You don't mess with Ariel Nix.
She's not a happy heel.
No, she's not but it was kind of touch and go there for a little bit. I thought I almost was, are we going to see a title change already? Because it was just a few events ago that Juicy won it from Ariella, and I'm like, wow, this is going to be a tough match, and it was. It was really tough, but it was good. It was a lot of action, and our girl Big Juicy pulled it out clean. No shenanigans
on her part.
No, and it was mostly an inside the ring match. It spun out a couple of times, I think, but it was mostly,
nothing like the match prior.
No. This was definitely let's cool all that action down a little bit and let's get you back in your seat. But it wasn't a sleeper match, that's for sure. It was.
I loved when
a lot
she
of fun.
Looked at her and she took a sip of her juice, and you could see the sparkle in her eye, and it makes me think of Kulik calling her the Queen of Charisma. And spot on.
There's no other fitting nickname that he's ever given out than that one. She is the Queen of Charisma. We love Big Juicy. She's
just a little bit.
She's just one of our favorites, and
she shines.
Yeah, so she retained her championship.
Yay!
And we're happy for that.
Yep.
And can't wait to see who's next on board. I've got a couple of guesses on who it should be, but we'll see. Got to put some words out there. Put some bugs in some ears out there.
Maybe an open challenge. Maybe that'll excite some of the female talent.
Yeah. And then our third match here was a 6-man tag match, which was some of our legends and then some newbies. And
I wouldn't say they're new.
Well, one was Ryan Clancy. Fancy Ryan Clancy's fairly new to the game, especially to PvP.
Yes. I agree.
So we had the Pyramids of Power along with Adam Booker. That's Adam Booker. I'm not good with names sometimes. And then they were facing Thomas Santel, Doc Heresy, and Fancy Ryan Clancy. On paper, the second tag team really should have been
they should have
done really well.
Yeah.
But there was some miscommunication in the team meeting.
And some internalized angst.
There was problems from the get-go. We're all about teamwork, except I don't think we know how teamwork works.
Although I have to admit that the past few shows that we've seen, Doc Heresy has been leaning heelish. There have been little glimpses of there's trouble with the legends.
Yeah.
And tonight just kind of
it got set off, and the team of the Pyramids of Power and Mr. Adam Booker, they took advantage of the dissension in their ranks on the other team. Doc Heresy has a feeling that Ryan Clancy was,
trying to
in it for himself, and and poor Thomas Santel was, caught in the middle of all of this, and
he's just a good guy. I mean,
Thomas Santel is a really good dude,
and he seemed really taken aback and shocked that all of this.
Why are we having these problems?
And especially because I've seen him in, with Doc Heresy before. How did you not notice that he was disgruntled?
Turn a blind eye to your friends sometimes.
Yeah, that's true.
But so the outside issues ended up spilling to the inside, and then after the Pyramids of Power and Adam Booker got the pin. It was a clean victory, and then it was post-match altercations that were almost more exciting than the match, where the three were jawboning back and forth, and not happy with it. And then for some reason, Adam Booker came back out, and Adam Booker and Doc Harrisy turned on Ryan Clancy and Thomas Santel and just left them lying. And I think there's going to be some fallout. I think at the next show,
after that type of implosion,
I think we're going to see another grudge match, if you will. I think some things need to be ironed out, and they're going to, we're going to have some legends duking it out at the next show. I think with Ryan Clancy and with Thomas Santel on one side, and
what is the next one? Matthew Mania.
Matthew Jamesia.
Matthew Jamesia.
Yeah. And it's the their anniversary show.
I think there's going to be a lot of chaos at that show. I really do.
Yeah, there may be.
We'll get to that.
It might change it to Shenanigans Mania. So
after that,
that took us to our heavyweight championship match, which our champion, Scotty Wilde.
Yay!
Gotta love Scotty Wilde.
Yeah,
good
he's a
dude.
good fella.
Versus this guy, BRG, Brett Ryan Gosling. I don't even care to say his name right. This guy, he's a bum.
I don't know. He seeks you out at every show and tries to get under your skin, and he succeeds.
He's a bum.
Well, I agree, but I have to say, some of his artwork is really great.
Oh, okay. That doesn't make him a good wrestler, though, or a good person.
Oh, fine.
He's a bum. He's a bum. He's a bum. He's a bum.
Yeah, but he can wrestle. He does have talent.
He's been on a winning streak lately.
Yeah.
Up until tonight. Thankfully. Because this was for the championship. And if this had gone the other way, I may have rioted.
Well, I thought for a few
I thought there were going to be a couple
minutes,
of chances
yeah.
he was going to rip it out. And
I thought, oh dear.
Because he had been on I can't believe I'm putting this name on him, but he's been on kind of a legend killer tour lately, where he's been going through some hard-hitting names that have been around for a while. And thankfully, Scotty Wilde was able to pull it out and take the W and hold that title.
His moves.
Yeah, you look at Scotty Wilde and you don't think high flyer, but man, he pulls it out every time. And I legit had him practically in my lap. He tope suicida right through the second rope, and there he was. Sadly, I didn't get the picture because I didn't realize it was coming. I was in that seat where
he's
I'm
stealthy.
I guess I was more distracted by my friend standing there, and then all of a sudden I caught my other friend in my lap.
I was trying to get your attention, like, oh, hey, and then I had to stop and just kind of
let things play.
Well, I had to protect myself.
Yeah, you got to do that. That's one of the fun things about indie wrestling is when you go, you can quickly become part of the action. Or a side effect of the action or something.
Or you can just get it up close and personal.
Yeah, right from our very first show, we were experiencing that with Bobby Ocean landing on our lap at our first show up to tonight, catching Bacon, catching Scotty Wilde. You never know what kind of souvenirs you could come home from an indie show with.
Yeah, and you might end up with some bruises.
Yeah.
Hey,
it's
you
happened.
know what? That's fine, because
you know what you're going getting when you go.
This is an independent show.
Yeah.
It's not some of the bigger names
You're right.
where you're separated.
Very rarely is there any kind of guardrail effect at all, depending on where you go. But even then,
it's part of the fun. It's the excitement.
It's part of the experience. You get to experience it close up.
But these men and women are very well trained. So even if they land in your lap, you're not going to get hurt.
Hopefully. I mean, they do their best to keep everybody safe, including themselves.
As long as you're not just looking at your phone the
Right.
entire time. If you're
If
not paying attention,
right.
There's going to be a problem.
And in some way, there's usually some kind of warning, too. You just got to be able to read the signs, what's coming. But, so, Scotty Wilde retained, and what a match. It really was. And as much as a business as I give BRG, he is a talented kid. He wouldn't be where he is if he wasn't. Mm-hmm. He's very well trained. He's a good performer. He's just a bum, and one of these days, he's going to get his.
You've got to give kudos to Scotty Wilde, because for part of that match, he was wrestling blind, because where his little top knot fell out and his hairpiece went flying, and he looked, no offense to you, you look like Cousin It, and he couldn't see. So kudos
Watch
to
his
him.
things, be careful.
Well, I am jealous. I mean, he has nicer hair than me.
I used to.
Oh, honey, you're still cute.
Anyway, so that brought us to a singles match, which was the godfather of the chokeslam, the tracksuit brute, the one, the only, Chris Benet. And yes, I'll cheer for him, even though he's not a well-liked guy.
Well, that's too bad. I like him.
And that's right. We support Chris Benet whether he likes it or not, and he told us that not. And he was facing 50 Cal. This was just a knockdown, drag out wrestling match. It really was. There was no bells or whistles. There was nothing on the line. It was just, let's get down and dirty and let's wrestle. And they did. And 50 Cal brings it, but he just
you throw
didn't
yourself
bring enough
at a brick wall enough times, you aren't going to get back up.
I mean, the kid was fighting an uphill battle the second he came out, so
yes.
There's that. But Chris is he's brute strength. He really is. He's just he's a throwback, like a brawler type guy. He's nothing fancy. He
doesn't need to be.
He didn't even throw a choke slam this time, I don't think, because he didn't win with the choke slam. He did everything else. He laid some chops into 50 Cal that are still sitting on his chest.
Yeah.
And he busted his chest open a little bit with some chops. That was just a hard hitting match, and
I mean, I'm not a 50 Cal fan, but I did feel bad for him with all of that, because I thought, man, you're going to feel that for the next few days.
Definitely tonight.
I mean, and the amount of times that he was picked up and thrown down and picked up and thrown down, you thought, oh, man.
Just stay down.
Yeah, exactly.
Do yourself a favor.
There were a couple of times that he did that to Chris Benet, and I thought,
you're going to hurt yourself.
Wow.
Yeah. Where'd that come from?
Yeah, that's impressive, but that's just going to piss him off. And
it did. To the point where Chris Benet came out with a win. So,
yay.
New York wins again. And,
that's
in this case, we're okay with that.
Yep.
Like I said, I can't help it. Chris is one of those guys that we clung onto a few years back, and it doesn't matter what side of that good or bad line he lays, we usually back him.
Well, and I tend to usually
like the bad guys anyways.
Yeah.
So Chris took the win on that one. Then, I believe this was after the intermission, right? Yes.
What's that?
Oh, the Chris's match was the first one after the intermission. Then we had the PvP All Valley Championship, which is held by R.J. Root. One of the really good guys.
Yes.
Who was facing new to PvP. Not really new to us, because we have been to Open and we watch Open. And that was New Jersey's own Ray Jazz. Who came out with big Paulie deals. And I guess that's what I'm supposed to call I know otherwise, but
let's just
but
respect
that's how he was billed for the night, and so Ray Jazz had the heavy, he had a bodyguard, and he did his best.
job.
He did his job to a point.
Little shenanigans here and there.
Yeah, there may have been some rope choking and
Leg pulling,
and maybe a punch or two thrown. But when you watch a guy like R.J. Rude, you know what you're getting. It's going to be up in the air more than anything else, and it was. Ray Jazz is super talented, well put together, well built guy.
I mean, he's from New Jersey. That's
you got to have a knock on the guy. That's the number one thing.
Yeah.
He's really talented. Again, I've seen him in other places, and he does his job well. Is to pissing off the crowd. He's really good at it, and he was really good at it tonight. He really got the crowd got under the crowd's skin. But it was a really, really good match. A lot of back and forth, a lot of flying, a lot of outside the ring. There was just up, down, over, flip, flop, and fly. It was just really, really good. I enjoyed the match, and I knew I would because RJ doesn't disappoint.
No.
He doesn't disappoint.
But my God, he scares me sometimes. I find myself watching through my fingers, because bless his heart, but he's the pop punk devil.
Yeah.
He's a daredevil.
Yeah.
He's young. He has no idea that in a few years he's gonna feel this.
He's still a kid.
Yeah.
He's still a kid,
Bless his heart.
They started really young when he and his partner had started, and then they, that went the way that it went. So RJ retained his All Valley. They're calling it an All Valley Championship, but it's a trophy, and it's he retained it. I hope he holds on to that for quite some time.
I love watching Ref Gina show off the titles.
Yes, she does. She's a good presenter.
Yeah.
The way she holds them up, she makes them. She gives them the reverence that they deserve.
Exactly.
Their titles, their championships, they got to be presented well. Excuse me, and she does it well. So RJ retained his trophy championship.
Yay!
And we're happy about that one.
Yeah, he's a good kid.
That brought us to our main event. And what a main event it was.
There was a lot.
This was for the tag team championships. The champions being the Miracle Generation.
Yay!
Dustin Flash Waller, and Kylon King.
Oh my God, I love Kylon.
I love Kylon too. I love them both. I love both those guys. And the challengers were Closers 2.0.
Boo.
Big Bacon Brad Hollister.
Your bad things.
And Jordan Rowe, the grapple god, if you will. And
I really don't.
This was another rematch for titles, because if you remember back when we did our review of the cage match night, that was the night of the ladder match that the Miracle Generation won the titles. And this was a rematch where the Closers wanted to get their titles back. And sadly, the Closers got their titles back.
Boo!
But there was a lot going on before even the bell rang, because there was
we were 10 minutes in, and then finally the bell rang.
There was a 5 to 10 minute match before the match ever started.
There was a lot.
Yeah,
a lot. I can't wait for your video compilation to be posted.
I hope I got enough of the good stuff. I don't know what I got.
It was hard because it was happening
on both sides of me. I had
many different
two
places.
Guys over on this side. I had two guys over on this side, and I'm trying to get a shot with this one and a shot. You can only move so fast. So there's going to be some blurry pictures that
And
I'm going to go
I'm
through.
tapping you, trying to get your attention, but there's stuff going on.
Here, get a picture of this over here. This is bigger. And then, again, we had fan interaction because we had Bacon fall into our laps. And
I got to boo him up close and personal.
she did. Real close. Not loud, but close. And she does it with a smile on. Boo.
I like booing certain people.
And boy, does she. Now, before the match even started, there was, in the intermission, there was a Paw Patrol mascot walking around taking pictures with kids and stuff.
A furry, if you will.
Call him whatever you want. I'll call him a putz. So,
spoilers.
I'm getting to that. So, said mascot came out just before this title match started and was walking around and was over in the back corner. And when he walked by me, I said, I have a feeling. And sadly, that feeling was right. I thought, yeah, I think Alex Cypher is underneath that hood.
You know, which is funny because the only time that he isn't scaring little children was when he was wearing that costume. Any other, just as himself, children run in terror.
His own.
With good reason.
His own. So, this match was literally all over the place. From the entrance to the exit to the bar to the everywhere. It was up in the air.
It was a blink and you missed something.
And I think we did miss some stuff. I know I missed some stuff that happened over here because I was focused over there. But there was a lot going on. It was a brawl. It was a fight. It wasn't a whole lot of wrestling going on. It was a lot of fighting going on.
But when there was wrestling, there was.
Finally got in the ring. Then they finally rang the bell to start the match. 10 minutes in. And then they had their match, and man, this was going either way. I'm like, oh no, we're good. Miracle Generation is gonna hold this out. They're gonna retain. They're gonna retain, and man.
Well, I mean, you had Jordan Rowe doing everything cheating wise to
gotta
get
be
that
good at something.
Truth, to get that kind of advantage.
Yeah.
And I mean, luckily, Ref Tyler caught the majority of it. But there were quite a few that he missed. But it's because
got lucky they kicked out of certain things, even though they were cheating. It was like, oh, well,
that's
my
a
God.
testament to their talent,
to the Miracle Generation.
Yes.
Yeah, they're so good, so good. They're smooth. Mm-hmm. They are. They're both very smooth, like in their wrestling abilities. It's crazy. Like
butter.
Jordan Rowe, I think at one point he had his feet up on the ropes for a pin, and they still kicked out of it.
And he was.
And
mystified.
The ref wasn't going to catch that either.
No, he wasn't going to catch that
because his eyes were on the shoulders. There was a spot that really caught my eye. Bacon is known for his suplexes, and there's Bacon and Jordan Rowe are in the corner, and here comes Kylon. I think it was Kylon King came in and came up behind Bacon, and he suplexed both of them.
Right, yeah.
And I was like, wait a minute. Of all the people doing the suplexes in this match, it wasn't Bacon. And I don't think he let too many go. I think other people were doing them. And just seeing that spot was just like, holy crap. That was a big moment. To me, anyways. I was getting because Bacon is the suplex guy, and to see him get caught by a big one like that was something.
It was gratifying.
So yeah, and then like I said, sadly, out came Hammer at one point, just to try and throw the scales in their favor. but he didn't really have to do anything, if I remember correctly.
He just caused a distraction, which
Yeah,
was enough to
that's enough sometimes.
tip the scales.
So the closers, they ended up taking the win.
I mean, not before Kylan had unmasked
Yeah.
King Furry there.
Yeah, I was trying to remember exactly when that. I didn't know if that happened post match or before.
It was before the end of the match.
Right. So Alex Cypher was unmasked, if you will,
because he was trying to get involved.
Right. He was trying to get involved. They pulled the Paw Patrol head off. And sure enough, it was Alex Cypher.
His own bobblehead.
And then, so the match went the way it went. Now we have post-event issues.
Oh, there's always
This is PvP, man. It's what we do. Matthew James came in and said, "Listen, we're gonna iron this out at the anniversary show, which they're calling Matthew Jamesia." The anniversary show, 8-year anniversary. They are going to have a match of a one-on-one match of each of their choosing. Alex Cypher and Matthew James each choose a wrestler. They ended up choosing them this night. Alex Cypher made his choice. He said it was a no-brainer, and his choice was, and this hurts a little bit because of whose side he's on, and that's Slade.
I mean,
now we haven't on the YouTube channel mentioned Slade often because he hasn't been around in a while in our viewing area, but pre-pandemic we were all about Slade, and I say we as PvP family was all about Slade. Mm-hmm. This guy was on a tear. And he, even through the pandemic and post a little bit, he's still building his name into, this guy does some scary ass stuff. And so that was Alex Cypher's pick. Matthew James made his pick. They have a legend that's going to be at the event, and that's PCO, who is
two of the
crazy,
most insane people.
He's a crazy wrestler who does hardcore stuff. So this match is not going to be rules followed at all. They're not even going to look at the rule book. There's going to be, I can guarantee, bloodshed on this match.
I was going to say, I see visions of red.
Oh yeah, there's going to be a Crimson Massacre too. But
not that's something I want.
If Alex Cypher wins, or Alex Cypher's guy, Slade, wins, he gets his seat back on the board of PvP as a member of the board. Which,
why?
Please, God, no. Why do you even make that an option? But if Matthew James's guy wins, he gets 2 minutes with Alex Cypher, I think he said. Mm-hmm. And also he gets the crap beat out of him by PCO. So there's that.
It's not a good scenario no matter how you look at it.
Somebody's gonna get hurt. Somebody's gonna get really, really hurt.
As long as it's not us. Well, no, I mean, I'm not gonna say that. I don't want anybody to get hurt.
Well, if that event is set up the same way as it was the last time, we won't be that close to the ring. Right. Unless they put seats closer to the ring this time, because there won't be a cage. So, because it's going to be at that Civic Center thing.
Well, you never know.
We don't know. We don't know what the setup's going to be. But, so it was a crazy night. Crazy event. We had a lot of fun. It was good to be back to PvP because we missed the last show. Because we had been busy, and we're still busy, but we finally made it to a PvP show.
No rest for the weary.
And so it was good to be back. We got to see some of our favorites, fans and wrestlers alike.
It feels like home.
Yeah, it was good to be back, And, we had our regular people that we love to thank. Dakota working the door, making sure everybody's sitting where they're supposed to be and everything. And, you had, Cameron Cole doing multiple duties. And then we had John Roy on sound and video doing a great job again.
Always, yeah.
That guy does not sleep, and I think legit. Nick Schultz was there helping out wherever he needed to be helped out.
Green and gold.
Yeah, and it was just a well run, well done show. A lot of fun from start to finish. So all that being said, here we are. It's one of our favorite parts. Your wrestler of the evening.
My wrestler of the evening.
Yeah.
Pooh-wee.
It's usually how we do it.
I'm going to go with Scotty Wilde.
Scotty Wilde. Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. You know what? I'm representing Scotty Wilde right now. You said Scotty Wilde. I don't disagree with it. I think it's a good pick. The Miracle Generation.
Bless. Yeah.
As a tag team, I'm going to call that Wrestlers of the Evening. Mm-hmm. Yeah, the Miracle Generation. Man, were they on fire tonight. They were just on fire.
They didn't... I think if they had backup with them...
If they had a corner person, I think
to
maybe...
try and keep the other shenanigans...
But I think that would have...
It would have been even more chaos.
It would have just been another body getting thrown around.
I know, but still, if they... I think that was like Tunis coming in at the end and,
was the final distraction.
Not Matthew James.
Alex Cipher.
That was... There's only the two of them.
Yeah.
To try and keep...
And they did the best they could for when they had it.
To keep all those distractions at bay, it was too much. There was a tipping point.
Yeah.
And to me, the tipping point was Hammer Tunis.
Yeah.
Hammer Tunis is a major distraction no matter what.
Yep.
He just has eyes on him all the time. He's a star.
Yeah.
So he's the type of person that when he comes out, everybody looks
demands
at him.
attention.
Yeah. Yeah, and he gets it.
Yeah.
Not that I think he deserves it. I'm not a fan. But grudging respect.
Yeah.
But I think that they could have dealt with Cypher. They could have dealt with Bacon and
Rowe.
Yes, I was going to call him the Snapple God. I don't. That's not. Whatever. They could have dealt with that, but the tipping point was Hammer Tunis.
Yeah.
And it was too much.
Your match of the evening.
My match of the evening has to be for the tag team championship.
It was the main event for a reason.
It was the main event for a reason, and for heaven's sake, all the matches were great.
Yeah.
I'm not going to boo any of them.
No.
There wasn't a sleeper. There wasn't, here's where I can go potty.
There was no bathroom break matches. Not at all.
But with that match, also like Hammer Tunis, this match demanded to be seen.
Yeah.
No. And it demands to be the match of the night.
Yeah.
No, because it was.
I'm going to agree with it. Kind of why I put them as my wrestlers of the evening. Even though they didn't win, I just the star power with those two kids is just undeniable. But this match, love them or hate them, Jordan Rowe is super duper talented. The kid is a ping pong ball, and
there's not an ounce of fat on him.
His ears are going to stick out off of his head a little bit further from now because Kylon King kept trying to rip him off of his head.
And I loved that
my ears.
Flash was grabbing Bacon and doing the same. But
It wasn't getting the same reaction though.
no. But I also don't think that there was, no offense, there was as much to grab. So.
Yeah, the match was just unbelievable. It was put in that spot for a reason, and that's not to say that any other match couldn't have been in the main. I mean, the Scotty Wild match could have been the main event. Usually, your heavyweight title match is the main event, but tag team championship being on the line like that in that match, and them retaining.
Losing.
The Miracle Generation losing the titles.
I know, I don't
that
really
hurt.
believe it either.
That hurt. I was hoping to see them hold it a little bit longer because they're collecting belts all over the place right now. Literally, almost every promotion they're in. And they're doing a hell of a job. But the closer's picking Jordan Rowe as a new closer. Not really a bad choice.
Man,
he fits the
fit
bill.
that slot.
Yeah, he's the new guy for the closers. It doesn't feel forced at all.
No, I think it's all the slime, and that's why he slid in there. Because he's just as slimy as the other two, and Alex Cypher.
Well, you can't really leave out Jason either. He's kind of part of it.
I am just so disappointed. I had hope for him.
We've been saying it a lot, and we usually pretty much have said it just about every review that we've done. The one thing about PvP is their storytelling, and okay, we ended that big story that it blew up. Did it? Did it really end? Because I think they just put in another chapter.
Well,
and it's going in another direction, and here we go, and I'm in.
Well, I look at as, okay, you get a big injury, right? There's always going to be residual pain that you have to address. And this is how I'm looking at it. This is residual pain that needs to be addressed before it turns into another big injury. That's what I'm looking at it as. And I mean, we can't call on Doc Heresy anymore because
and that's another thing. That's not a that match, that little story. They told a big story. This is kind of like a behind the curtain type of thing right now, but those 6 guys told a big story in a short amount of time.
They really did.
Because yes, some of this stuff has been kind of creeping in over and over, from other events, but sneaking in. Tonight, from the entrance to the time that they left, they told a huge story where they were like, we're all about teamwork. We're all in this together. The 3 of us are in this together. Wait a minute, you're screwing me over. A month's, like a 3 event story got told in one match.
Well, I knew that something was hinky the minute that their music started to play, and it wasn't
Heresies.
Yeah,
it wasn't the jazz music. It wasn't
the big
the big band music.
Yeah. And I thought, well, that's different, huh? I wonder why that is.
Yep.
And you could see that he was coming in irritated, and then there was all the big talk of teamwork makes the dream work.
Yeah.
And it's like,
we're focusing on that, but are you?
That's kind of ringing false.
Yeah.
So.
But I mean, they just told a hell of a story within that short amount of time. I mean, it wasn't a long match, and again, the aftermath was more telling than what the match was. But if you didn't have the match, you wouldn't have what happened afterwards, and it's chalk it up to these legends who know what they're doing. You had Thomas Santel, who
that guy tells a story by himself.
Yeah. I mean, he's a pro. I mean, he was in the WWE for a few years. He knows what he's doing. He learned from some of the best. And you got Doc Heresy. He's been doing it forever. And the other guy, Adam Booker. Yeah. He was an EWA guy too, so and Pyramids of Power they've been around for a while too.
Yeah.
we've been watching them since our first day, literally.
Yeah.
So
And that was how many years ago?
we're working on 6.
Yeah.
We're working on 6 now. So, and I believe they were doing stuff before that.
Mm-hmm.
So, I was more impressed by the story that was told with that. But that's always something I go back to with PvP.
You've got to be impressed.
They're good with their storytelling.
They're not just throwing matches together just for the sake of matches
No,
together.
even 50 Cal and Chris Benet. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that was kind of a, all right, we'll take these two. It worked. Mm-hmm.
We've seen
it made sense.
Things of from that before.
Yeah, but it made sense.
Right, exactly.
You have your titles, you have your title matches and stuff, and when you have the people that they have and the places that they have them, it makes you look forward to, all right, what are we doing next? Because okay, Scotty Wild beat BRG, but what are they gonna do with this kid next? What underhanded shit is he gonna do next? But now who's the next guy to face Scotty Wild? Who's
I'm assuming
next?
that it's Hammer. I mean, he's on his grudge match tour, wanting to get that. Back.
I wouldn't be surprised, but who else? It could be anybody else. I don't know. It's just they make you want to go to the next event,
right?
By watching the event that you're at. It's like, all right, I'll throw down my money.
Yeah, when they talk about, okay, this is what we're doing the next time, that people are already buying tickets because it's definitely booked for must see.
Yeah.
So we are big.
We're always interested in what's the end game, but we never really get to the end because it just keeps moving out and out and out. They keep telling the story better and better, and as long as there's not another pandemic in the way, we'll be good. You know what I mean?
Your tongue.
You know what I mean, though. It's so that was PvP. Let's get wild, and boy did we, and man did they! It was a crazy match from start to finish. I was glad to go. It felt good to go. Got to get loud and obnoxious and get up in the face of a couple of people. Yeah. BRG's a bum, by the way. I don't know if I said that or not. But
I think maybe.
So there's that. So Anissa, thank you for going with me tonight.
Thank you for taking me.
And thank you for all of you who have subscribed, who watch, who follow this silliness.
And support us
supporting
in
us.
whatever way.
Remember, we build them up. We don't tear them down. And,
Unless you're bacon.
Oh, Jesus. And then go to my YouTube channel, Eric Hunting from Parts Unknown. Like, comment, subscribe. Share it. Please, and if you see something you like, let me know. If you see something you're not crazy about, let me know so I can fix it. And we'll definitely see you at the next matches. Like I said, April 8th is the next PvP show, which is Matthew James here, the 8th anniversary show, which is on the 8th. That's cool.
Good number.
It's a good number. So we'll see you at the matches. Thank you.